Imagine for a moment a fountain. Its crystalline waters cascading with a roar over centuries-old sculpted stone. A majestic basin where every single day coins worth an astonishing 3,000 euros are tossed into its shimmering, sunlit depths.
Make no mistake,
This isn't an expression of wild, unbridled extravagance. It's an act of faith, an act of hope. We are standing before the Trevi Fountain in Rome, the exact place where whispered wishes meet an unyielding promise. Because every night when the city finally sleeps, those coins are meticulously collected and given directly to charity. It's so much more than a monument of water and stone. It's a symbol of absolute generosity. Undeniable proof that the grandest art and the human heart can and should coexist in perfect harmony. That is the soul of Italy. Captured in a single, timeless gesture. Welcome to a nation that holds more UNESCO World Heritage sites than any other country on Earth. A nation that, all by itself, is home to nearly 70% of the entire world's artistic heritage. An extraordinary place where history refuses to be confined to the sterile glass cases of a museum. History, here, pulses in the uneven cobblestones beneath your feet. It weaves through the sweet scent of fresh basil drifting from a kitchen window at lunchtime. It is in the very air you breathe. From the bone-chilling winds that whip across the jagged, icy peaks of the Dolomites, to the warm, hypnotic turquoise waters that caress the sun-baked shores of Sardinia. Italy isn't just one country. It's 20 entirely different worlds, rolled and woven together to form one glorious, mythical boot. Each region is a universe unto itself, with its own dialect, echoing like music through the narrow streets, with its own ancient traditions forged by millennia. So, get ready. Prepare yourself for a visceral explosion of colors, of epic stories, of flavors that will brand themselves into your memory for eternity. Together, we're about to uncover the beating heart of a country that has captivated and bewitched the entire world for centuries. Our journey begins not with a timid whisper, but with an absolute roar. The screech of tires on tarmac, and suddenly, the glorious, deafening, and magnificent chaos of Rome. We've just touched down in the Eternal City, and the very second you step outside, it hits you head-on. A wave of history so dense, so palpable, you could almost taste it on your tongue. The air is thick with the ballet of a million modern scooters frantically weaving through arteries laid down by Roman emperors. A brilliant, jarring collision where the honk of a tiny Fiat perfectly mingles with the spectral echoes of an empire that shaped our Western world. Rome isn't just a city. It's a stage. A living theater where the most decisive acts in human history have unfolded. And we have just walked in for the opening curtain. Our very first stop simply had to be this. You see it from a distance and your brain struggles to process it. A colossal, broken crown of travertine stone, carving a sharp silhouette against the deep blue Italian sky. The Colosseum. You stand at the foot of this behemoth, and its sheer scale silences you. This is not just a romantic ruin. It is the ultimate monument dedicated to the raw, brutal, and spectacular power of ancient Rome. Close your eyes for just a second, and you can almost hear it. The deafening roar of 80,000 spectators blood-drunk on spectacle. The metallic clash of steel against steel. The desperate courage of gladiators who fought and perished on that blood-soaked sand for glory, to claw back their freedom, or simply to entertain the mob. This place is heavy with ghosts. Steps away, we walk literally through the layers of time, the grandiose ruins of the Roman Forum. Force your gaze beyond the scattered columns and broken marble blocks. Imagine this place as the absolute nerve center of the most powerful empire to ever rule the earth, the vibrant, palpitating, frantic heart of Roman civic life. Deals that redrew the maps of the world were sealed right here. Triumphant generals, covered in gold and glory, paraded over these exact same millennially worn stones. The Forum wasn't just the center of a city. For centuries, it was the center of the known world. Then, we walk a few blocks further, turn a corner, and without a single border checkpoint, we cross an invisible line. We have just left Italy to enter the smallest independent state on the planet. Welcome to Vatican City. And there she stands, rising before us, St. Peter's Basilica. This isn't a building you simply look at. It's a building you feel in your gut. Its crushing majesty was meticulously designed to make you feel tiny, to force you to look up and connect with a divine presence. But the true transcendence, the ultimate revelation, hides even deeper within. You tilt your head back and look at the vault, the Sistine Chapel. What Michelangelo laid upon that ceiling isn't simply a series of brilliant frescoes. It's humanity's relentless struggle, our divine creation, our inevitable fall, and our final judgment, all captured by the grace of a single brush. An absolute masterpiece that pierces through ages, shatters the barriers of time, and speaks directly to your soul. But before we get completely swept away by millennia of sacred art, we need to come back down to earth, back into the tumult of the Roman streets. Before we leave this immortal city, we will find the perfect plate of carbonara. Rich, creamy, authentic, executed in strict adherence to Roman tradition. No cream, just crispy guanciale, sharp pecorino, and a bright egg yolk. It's far more than a flavor. It's a mandatory rite of passage. And that promise, we fully intend to keep. That frantic Roman energy, it's still buzzing under our skin. But Italy is an epic novel with many chapters. We leave the opulent grandeur of the Eternal City behind, boarding a high-speed train that catapults us from Rome to Naples. And suddenly, you are there. Naples. This isn't a city that eases you in. It strikes you full force. A jolt of pure, raw, unfiltered life. Scooters zigzag at suicidal speeds through impossibly narrow alleys. Singing, gravelly voices bounce off the ancient stone of peeling facades, and clean laundry flaps in the wind like prayer flags above your head, silently narrating the dramas and joys of the families living inside. And watching over this perpetual theater stands the silent, looming giant, Mount Vesuvius. A constant, crushing presence. A perpetual reminder that this city has always danced on a razor's edge, bordering on destruction. Time itself feels layered here. One moment you are enveloped by the heavy, ghostly silence of Pompeii, an entire city frozen for eternity in burning ash. And the next, you are plunged back into the glorious, exhausting, and magnificent chaos of the Neapolitan Historical Center, a human labyrinth more alive than any other place on Earth. But to truly unlock the mystery of Naples, you have to taste it. We are irresistibly drawn to a small neighborhood pizzeria, and there it is. Absolute perfection embodied in a pizza margherita. This isn't just food, it's a UNESCO World Heritage treasure. Melting history served on an earthenware plate. Leaving the magnificent chaos of Naples is a heartbreak, but the call of the horizon is stronger. We pick up a car to leave Naples and head for the Amalfi coast, because some journeys demand the absolute freedom to stop at every single bend in the road. And what a road it is! It's barely a road anymore, more like a thin ribbon of gray asphalt clinging desperately to the side of a dizzying mountain. Every tight curve tears a gasp of surprise from your lungs, revealing a new panorama, always more unbelievable than the last. On one side, majestic sheer cliffs plunge straight into the marine abyss. On the other, the absolute void, filled only by the deep, hypnotic blue of the Tyrrhenian Sea. The warm wind rushes through the open windows, laden with salty sea spray and the sweet scent of lemons. This entire coastline is, once again, a UNESCO-classified masterpiece of natural dramaturgy. And that intoxicating perfume? It emanates from the terraced orchards of gold, suspended almost miraculously on the cliff face, bursting with the heat of the southern sun. The drive is a mosaic of suspended moments, punctuated by the appearance of villages that seem to tumble in a cascade of pastel colors toward the sea. We stop in Amalfi, the beating historical heart of this coast. Whose majestic cathedral with Byzantine influences stands as a testament to its glorious past as a formidable maritime republic. In Positano and Ravello, we abandon the car to intentionally lose ourselves, wandering through alleys so narrow they seem to want to embrace you. But to grasp the most epic perspective of all, you have to climb. The Sentiero degli Dei, the path of the gods. And believe me, it more than earns its name. Up there, you are literally walking suspended between heaven and earth, with panoramas so vast, so overwhelming, that the horizon line simply vanishes, fusing the sea and the sky into a single block of azure. The reward, after the effort, is simple but touches perfection. A plate of melting gnocchi prepared in strict tradition, accompanied by an ice-cold frosted glass of limoncello. Produced right here from the most aromatic lemons on the planet, it is the very taste of summer captured in a bottle. The Amalfi Coast isn't just a landscape your eyes scan. It's an entity you feel, you taste, you breathe into your lungs. From the theatrical relief of the Amalfi Cliffs, our adventure shifts. We take the wheel to cross the spine of Italy, leaving the Amalfi Coast in our car to reach the Etria Valley, deep in Puglia. As the kilometers roll by, the landscape loses its mineral aggression. We are entering Puglia. And suddenly, they appear out of nowhere. Small, whitewashed stone huts, topped with strange gray conical roofs, as if a forgotten fairy tale had taken root in reality. These are the famous Trulli, and nowhere else on Earth are they more magical and concentrated than in Alberobello. Walking these streets is a dreamlike experience. You navigate through a sea of over 1,500 of these unique dwellings. They are a triumph of architectural ingenuity, assembled from limestone without a single drop of mortar to bind them. A brilliant thermal design allowing families to survive the scorching Apulian summers. It's a place that feels completely detached from the timeline of history. We intentionally lose ourselves in Locorotondo, a dazzling labyrinth of immaculate alleys and balconies overflowing with vibrant flowers. Then, rising at the top of a hill like a mirage, Ostuni, the White City. Its blinding walls act as an immaculate beacon contrasting violently with the ultramarine blue of the Adriatic Sea below. This is also the homeland of orecchiette, those little ear-shaped pastas shaped by hand by nonnas sitting in the sunlit doorways of their homes. Puglia doesn't try to impress you with imperial monuments. It is a land that tells its story through the harsh taste of its soil, through the accumulated heat of the sun on old stone, through a visceral beauty that feels honest, stripped down, and profoundly real. From this rustic heart of Puglia, we take to the skies. It is by plane that we leave Puglia to reach Palermo in Sicily. A flight that soars over the most saturated expanse of blue water your eye could ever conceive. To land on a soil that gives the strange sensation of having changed continents entirely. Welcome to Sicily! This is not just a Mediterranean island. It is an open-air museum, a burning crossroads where the greatest empires have clashed and civilizations have intermingled for 3,000 years. It is of rare intensity, of brutal beauty, and absolutely unforgettable. The introduction to this world apart is made through its capital, Palermo. This city does not know how to whisper. It screams its vitality. We dive headfirst into the fascinating anarchic chaos of the Vucciria and Ballaro markets. It is a total sensory assault, an explosion. The guttural cries of the merchants echo and bounce through the narrow corridors. Mounds of fruits and vegetables shine in saturated colors. The air is thick, heavy with humidity, saturated with the intoxicating sense of eastern spices and the acrid smell of octopus tentacles grilling on the coals. But just when you think you have pinpointed this animal energy, Palermo reveals its mystical soul. We cross the threshold of the Palatine Chapel, and the outside world, its noises, its smells, everything instantly disappears. You find yourself inside a giant treasure chest, an absolute pinnacle of Byzantine art where millions, literally millions, of pure gold mosaics tell the sacred texts, covering every square inch of available surface. A golden, silent perfection that steals your last breath. Fleeing the city's effervescence, our route takes us east for a spectacle of pure nature. Taormina, clinging dramatically, almost theatrically, to the side of a cliff. Its most precious jewel is undoubtedly its ancient Greek theater, but the real performance is what lies behind it. You look past these stones eroded by wind and millennia, and you are left speechless. Below, the Ionian Sea sparkles with a supernatural blue, and there, crushing the horizon with its imposing mass, perpetually spewing smoke, stands majestic Mount Etna. One of the most powerful, humbling panoramas for human pride that the earth has to offer. And what is the only acceptable way to conclude such a day? With a gastronomy that is, all by itself, the history book of the island. The arancini, that fried rice ball, golden and perfectly crispy. and the absolute monarch of desserts, the cannolo. The sharp, perfect crack of the shell breaking under your teeth, instantly releasing a velvety cloud of sweet, creamy ricotta. This is the real Sicily. A feast for the eyes, the soul, and the appetite. From the fiery heart of Sicily, we cross to Italy's other great island. We board a boat from Sicily to sail to Sardinia. As we approach, the air changes. The energy shifts completely. Welcome to Sardinia! We head straight for its most famous coastline. A name that promises everything and somehow manages to deliver even more. The Costa Smeralda, the Emerald Coast. And believe me, the name is not an exaggeration. The water here isn't just blue, it's a living jewel. Dozens of shades of turquoise, cyan, and deep sapphire shimmering under the Mediterranean sun. But the real treasure lies far beyond the glamour. We find our way to beaches like Capriccioli, and it feels entirely unreal. The sand is like powdered sugar, the water so clear, so intensely blue, it's hard to believe you are still in Europe. But to think Sardinia is only this, is to miss its ancient, beating soul. The Emerald Coast is merely the gateway to the island's rugged, untamed interior. A land of wild nature, dense cork forests, and mysterious, prehistoric Nuragic villages, massive stone towers that have stood in absolute silence for millennia. It's this incredible, jarring balance, the polished, high-end glamour of the coast, and the raw, untamed history of the mountains, that truly defines this unforgettable island. To truly understand Italy's soul, we must leave the islands behind. We catch a quick flight from Sardinia to Florence, the cradle of the Renaissance. But we're not staying in the city just yet. We pick up a car, roll down the windows, and drive straight out of Florence into the heart of a masterpiece, the Val d'Orcia. Welcome to the Val d'Orcia. This isn't just a landscape. It's a UNESCO World Heritage site that feels exactly like a living Renaissance painting. You've seen the pictures 1,000 times, but nothing prepares you for the reality of this. Rolling, velvety green hills bathed in a light so golden and thick it feels liquid, punctuated by impossibly elegant cypress trees standing like lonely, dark sentinels on the horizon. It's as if a master painter sculpted the very earth itself. We wind our way to Pienza, the ideal city of the Renaissance, dreamt into reality by a pope. It's a flawless architectural gem. Walking its perfect stone streets, you feel that vision. Everything harmonious, proportioned, a beautiful thought brought to actual life. Then we climb the steep hill to Montalcino, a fortress town with a world-famous towering reputation. This is the home of Brunello. And just look. The entire valley unfolds below like a map. It's pure, unadulterated poetry. Here you savor a sharp, nutty slice of pecorino cheese from Pienza. And it tastes of the very fields the sheep grazed in just miles away. Visiting the Val d'Orcia is about rediscovering the absolute pleasure of simply being. It's about feeling the sun on your skin and stopping your car by the side of the road just to watch a sunset that sets the entire sky aflame. As the last glowing embers of that Tuscan sunset fade, we point our car back north, driving from the Val d'Orcia back to Florence. We hand back the keys, because this city isn't meant to be driven. It's meant to be walked.
Florence isn't just a city.
It's a living, breathing, open-air museum. Every single corner you turn whispers a story. This is the cradle of the Renaissance, and you can feel that creative, explosive fire in the very stones beneath your feet. Looking up, you simply can't miss it. The skyline, the city's very soul, is utterly dominated by Brunelleschi's dome. This colossal, terracotta-tiled marvel isn't just a feat of engineering. It's a massive statement. A testament to human ambition and genius that centuries later still leaves you absolutely breathless. We wander down towards the Arno River. And there it is, the Ponte Vecchio, the old bridge. It's almost stubborn. Its little, glittering jewelry shops clinging desperately to its sides, catching the sunlight. Having stared down massive floods, brutal wars, and the relentless march of time. Now, for any art lover, this next stop is a mandatory pilgrimage, the Uffizi Gallery. This is a treasure chest overflowing with the works of absolute giants. Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, Botticelli. Standing in front of the Birth of Venus, it's not just looking at a painting. It's a profound, almost spiritual moment of connection. In Florence, you quickly understand, art isn't just something to be seen. It's something to be tasted, felt, and lived every single day. From the art-filled beating heart of Florence, we trade marble halls for railway tracks. We board a train from Florence towards the Cinque Terre. The view outside the window transforms, from gentle Tuscan hills to the sudden, dazzling, crashing blue of the coast. And then, you see them, the Cinque Terre. My friends, this isn't just a place. It's a miracle of architecture and sheer human willpower. A UNESCO World Heritage Site torn straight from a painter's wildest dream. 5 villages, a chaotic riot of pastel pinks, sun-bleached yellows, and bold, earthy ochres, clinging to the cliffs in a way that seems to completely defy gravity, tumbling down to tiny, hidden harbors where fishing boats bob gently in turquoise water. This is a paradise built strictly for your own 2 feet. The legendary Sentiero Azzurro, the Blue Trail, snakes precariously along the coastline, stitching these 5 vibrant jewels together. A path carved directly from the cliffside, with a deep blue sea on one side and steep terraced vineyards climbing impossible slopes on the other. Every single step reveals a view that stops you dead in your tracks. The taste of this place is born from that exact same sea and sun-drenched earth. You absolutely cannot leave without trying the trofie al pesto. This is its true homeland. That fresh, violently fragrant basil, the pine nuts, the local olive oil. It's the pure, unadulterated flavor of Liguria. As the sun begins to dip into the water, we find a quiet spot overlooking the sea. We raise a small glass of chaquetra, a sweet, rare dessert wine, as golden as the sunset itself. A perfect taste of this rugged, beautiful, and utterly unforgettable coast. From the salty air of the Cinque Terre, we turn our backs on the sea, boarding a train from the Cinque Terre inland to Turin. Our first stop? Turin. The elegant, regal capital of Piedmont. For us, it's merely the launch pad. We pick up a car in Turin and point it south towards the Langhe region. And this is where the real magic begins. This is not just scenery. It's a living, breathing pantry for the gods. an absolute paradise for anyone who travels strictly for flavor. This is the sacred hallowed ground of the legendary white truffle of Alba and the royal court of Italian wine, Barolo, the powerful tannic king, and Barbaresco, its elegant, complex queen. The view is an endless, stitched quilt of vineyards, draped across rolling hills, punctuated by ancient, brooding castles and quiet hilltop villages. You can almost hear the history whispering on the crisp wind. This is a place you don't just see, you taste and feel. We find ourselves deep in an underground cellar generations old, the cool air thick with the intoxicating scent of damp oak and aging grapes. We cycle along quiet, winding roads, the sun warming our backs, a panoramic view waiting at every single turn. Here, every meal is a masterpiece. A plate of delicate, hand-pinched agnolotti del Plin, a slow-braised brassato al barolo that simply melts away on your tongue. This isn't just a trip. It's a total, unyielding immersion into the soul of Italian culinary tradition, where life moves slowly at the pace of a perfectly aged wine. From the wine-soaked hills of the Langhe, our car continues north towards Lake Como, a trinity of watery worlds, each with its own distinct soul. Our first stop, Lake Como. The air here is refined, heavy with money and history. This is where raw, dramatic nature meets pure, old-world elegance. Neoclassical villas dripping with purple wisteria, their private wooden docks caressed by the gentle waves of a classic mahogany riva boat. We wander the charming, steep streets of Bellagio, the pearl of the lake, the sweet scent of blooming azaleas filling the air. This is a place for slow, lingering boat trips, for a lakeside aperitivo as the setting sun paints the dark water gold. Then we push our car further east, from Lake Como to Lake Garda, and the vibe instantly changes. If Como is a composed, classical orchestra, Garda is a loud rock concert. This is Italy's largest lake, a vast, imposing inland sea whipped into a frenzy by fierce mountain winds. A kaleidoscope of colorful sails and kites dance frantically across the water, a paradise for the adrenaline seeker, a massive playground for windsurfers and sailors. The energy here is electric, raw, exhilarating. Finally, we drive from Lake Garda to Lake Maggiore, seeking the quiet seduction of its waters. A world of pure, unadulterated romance. We drift out on a small boat towards the Borromean Islands. Isola Bella rises from the morning mist like a Baroque fantasy, a floating, tiered palace surrounded by immaculate, sprawling terraced gardens featuring white peacocks roaming freely. Como, the elegant, wealthy socialite. Garda, the wild, untamed athlete. Maggiore, the quiet, romantic poet. Each lake a unique masterpiece, a completely different reflection of the sky, the imposing mountains, and the complex Italian soul. From the poetic shores of the lakes, we turn our car inland and upwards. Driving from Lake Maggiore into the Dolomites, the road coils tighter, the air grows noticeably crisp, sharp, and clean. We are rapidly gaining altitude, ascending towards the jagged, snowy crown of Italy. We're heading into the heart of the Dolomites.
These aren't just mountains,
They are colossal, intimidating cathedrals of stone, so otherworldly and striking that they're a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Their sheer limestone faces, pale and ghostly by day, hold a truly magical secret. It's a natural phenomenon called enrosadira, the pinking. At dawn and dusk, just watch as the sun's low rays strike the rock and these sleeping giants ignite. They blush from a soft, delicate rose to a fiery, apocalyptic orange. A spectacle that completely silences you and makes you feel incredibly, intensely alive. In summer, this place is an absolute paradise for hikers. Every single trail leading to a view that steals the breath from your lungs. In winter, it entirely transforms, becoming one of Europe's most prestigious and challenging playgrounds for skiers, with pristine, endless slopes carving through a harsh white wilderness. Nestled deep in these valleys are fairy tale villages. The chic, glamorous Cortina d'Ampezzo, the charming, wood-carved Ortice. Here you find a fascinating alpine culture, a perfect, hearty blend of Italian heart and Austrian soul. You can taste this unique borderland on the plate, especially in a steaming, comforting bowl of canaderli. Hearty, savory bread dumplings, feeling like a warm hug from the mountains themselves. The Dolomites aren't just a place you see, they're a place you feel. Raw, incredibly powerful, and utterly magnificent. The air begins to warm again. We are descending from the Alpine giants, the road unspooling before our car as we drive from the Dolomites to Verona, leading us back to a completely different kind of legend. We're pulling into a city whose very name is synonymous with a love story. Verona. Everyone on Earth knows Verona for one thing: a tragic tale of star-crossed lovers. And yes, you can feel Shakespeare's ghost lingering on every corner. But to think that's all this city has to offer is to miss the point entirely. Before Romeo ever existed, there was Rome, and its powerful heartbeat still thunders in the city center. The Verona Arena, a colossal elliptical Roman amphitheater, so perfectly preserved it feels like stepping into a time machine. Today, the bloody roar of gladiators has been replaced by the soaring, heartbreaking notes of an opera, echoing into the warm, velvet Italian night. This isn't just a ruin, it's a living, breathing stage for some of the world's most epic and moving performances. Of course, you have to see Juliet's house. You'll join the masses of romantics gazing up at that famous stone balcony, leaving desperate notes of love tucked into the ancient brick walls. But the real, authentic Verona reveals itself when you step away and get lost on sun-drenched medieval squares or walking along the gentle, sweeping curves of the Adige River. You start to notice the color, a distinct, warm, rosy red. The local marble infused into the very bones of the city, making the buildings glow softly under the late afternoon sun. Verona. It's a city of epic, unrestrained passions. From the grand spectacle of the arena to the world's most famous love story, proving that here in Italy, some legends are truly written in stone. From the stone legends of Verona, we catch a train heading east from Verona to Venice. The world outside the window flattens, turns brilliantly green, then suddenly turns to a shimmering, vast blue. This is it, the grand finale of our northern detour. We're rolling over a long causeway, suspended between the sky and the sea, towards a city that simply shouldn't exist. Towards Venice, La Serenissima. There are absolutely no cars here, no paved roads. The very moment you step out of the Santa Lucia station, the city's unique soundtrack hits you. The gentle, rhythmic lapping of water against stone. The sharp echo of footsteps in a narrow, damp alley. Venice is a stunning architectural masterpiece built entirely on water, a living, sinking labyrinth of canals and calli. Getting lost isn't just a possibility here, it's the entire point of coming. Every wrong turn leads to a hidden, silent courtyard, a tiny arched bridge, a scene torn straight from a Canaletto painting. Eventually, all winding paths lead to Piazza San Marco, St. Mark's Square. Less a square and more a colossal, opulent open-air theater. Dominated by the shimmering golden Byzantine domes of its basilica, it's a stage where ancient history and modern life perform a chaotic, beautiful, unending ballet. But to truly understand Venice, to feel its pulse, you have to see it from the water. We find a gondolier and push off into the quiet, shadowy back canals. This is the city's true soul. Gliding silently, the only sound the gentle splash of the wooden oar, watching the warped reflections of ancient, crumbling palazzos dance on the dark water. It's hypnotic, entirely otherworldly. You're feeling its rhythm, its gentle, watery heartbeat. As dusk settles, painting the canals in brilliant shades of gold and rose, we discover another of Venice's greatest treasures. We duck into a tiny, crowded baccaro for cicchetti, small, exquisite bites of Venetian street food. Venice isn't just a city. It's a dream you can literally walk right into. Before this grand journey completely ends, we have one last stop. A final train takes us away from the canals, from Venice, deep into Umbria. Diving deep into the mainland, into the very green heart of the country. They call Umbria the green heart of Italy, and it's a title it earns with every rolling hill, every thick forest, and every silver-leafed olive grove. This isn't the Italy of packed, chaotic squares. This is something much quieter, much more contemplative and grounded. Our first stop is a place you feel in your soul before you even see it: Assisi. The city of St. Francis, a spiritual, glowing jewel perched high on a hillside. As you walk its ancient, steep stone streets, a profound, heavy sense of peace just washes over you. It's in the air itself, a quiet, deep reverence that centuries of time haven't managed to fade. From there, we journey to a city that seems to completely defy gravity: Orvieto. It stands majestic, almost impossibly, on a massive sheer cliff of volcanic tuff rock. Its grand cathedral is a jaw-dropping, intricate spectacle of art and unyielding faith. But the real, hidden secret of Orvieto lies far beneath your feet. A whole other city. A dark labyrinth of cellars, wells, and tunnels carved deep into the volcanic rock centuries ago. We get back in a car, driving from Umbria back to Rome. The car hums along the autostrada, pointing us back towards the airport where it all began. Outside the window, the Italian countryside is a blur of green and gold. But in my mind, the images are coming in sharp, fast, and vivid. A final, beautiful, chaotic montage. It feels like a lifetime ago we were standing under the jagged, pale peaks of the Alps. And just yesterday, we were dipping our feet in the sun-drenched, turquoise waters of the southern coast. We've journeyed the entire length of the boot. We've walked through eternal cities where massive empires rose and fell into dust, and gotten lost in medieval villages so incredibly quiet you could hear the whispers of the distant past. But Italy isn't a place you just see. It's a full-body, overwhelming experience, an assault on the senses in the best possible way imaginable. It's the sublime, ruinous taste of a true Neapolitan pizza, the perfectly blistered crust that will ruin all other pizzas for you, forever. It's the breathtaking, fiery sight of a Tuscan sunset, the exact moment the sky ignites and cypress trees become perfect, dark silhouettes against a canvas of fire. It's the sound. I think back to the start of this whole wild adventure. Standing before the Trevi Fountain in Rome, tossing a single coin into its churning water. The ancient legend says one coin ensures your return to Rome. But looking back now, I know the truth. One coin is nowhere near enough. One lifetime isn't enough for Italy. For every single wonder we've witnessed, 1,000 more lie hidden around the very next corner. This country isn't a destination you check off a list and forget. It's a passionate love affair, and a single trip will never, ever be enough. So this isn't goodbye. Not really. It's just arrivederci, until we meet again. If you enjoyed this massive journey across Italia, please do us a huge favor and hit that like button. It truly helps us bring more of these epic stories to you. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications for more incredible adventures around the globe. Thank you for joining us on this unforgettable ride. There is a beautiful, wild planet out there. So keep exploring and keep discovering. But before you go, I really want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me, which part of Italy are you dreaming of seeing the most? Or if you've already been, what is your most cherished, unforgettable memory? And most importantly, where on this beautiful planet should we go next? Let me know in the comments. Thank you again. We'll see you in the next one.